This is an emergency alert. The United States has now deployed their Awacs systems right now, and U.S. military is on high alert. This is due to multiple nuclear-capable bombers from Russia and China being intercepted by U.S. fighter jets. All right, this just happened today. It is Wednesday, July 24th, right? And this just happened today. And we have these systems in the air right now and monitoring the situation on high alert. AWACS systems are on red alert, high alert, and they are monitoring the situation after multiple nuclear capable bombers from Russia and China just entered one of our air zones. All right, so this is big. Let's get into the details here really quick, guys. Please hit it up for me down there. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm posting almost every single day, keeping you guys updated on all this big news. All right, so this is what's happening right now. All right, we have AWACS systems in the air currently, and these are aerial warning and control systems. Okay, these are giant radar systems that are on aircraft, and these radar systems map out the areas for hundreds and hundreds of miles, every single plane, and it gives them advanced warning for any type of missile systems that are being activated. All right, so the U.S. military is on high alert right now in Alaska. These AWACS systems are currently over Alaska right now, and they are monitoring the area and making sure that there's no missiles or aircraft that are entering this airspace, because we also just had multiple nuclear capable bombers from Russia and China jointly also enter the airspace around Alaska. Okay, it entered the Alaska Air Defense Identification Zone off the coast of the Aleutian Islands. All right, this just happened today, and in response, the AWACS systems have been deployed. And this is all happening at the same time as Biden is giving his speech. Okay, all these things are happening. This is happening tonight at the same time when Biden just gave his speech, the first speech he's given, first time we've even really seen him in almost a week. Okay, and after he's announced he's no longer running. So the United States is vulnerable right now. And then we have a joint operation of China and Russia, and this is the first time China has ever entered this air zone. First time ever this has happened, and it's happening jointly with Russia. So this is big. This is a major World War III preparation. They were testing their responses, how quick it will take to scramble jets and to intercept their aircraft. All right, so all this is happening at the same time, and it's not a coincidence. All right, and AWACS systems have been deployed in response to this, and they're on high alert for any type of aircraft entering or missile systems. All right, that's what this aircraft is for. But it says here, NORAD has announced that earlier today a flight of two Tu-95, quote, Bear strategic bombers with the Russian Air Force, as well as two H-6 Badger strategic bombers with the Chinese People's Liberation Army Air Force, were detected and tracked in the Alaska Air Defense Identification Zone off the coast of the Aleutian Islands. The bombers were intercepted by aircraft of the U.S. and the Canadian Air Force, who escorted them until they exited the ADIZ. The aircraft remained in international airspace throughout the flights and did not directly enter U.S. or Canadian airspace, but it did enter the Alaskan Air Defense ID zone, okay, which is heavily monitored by the U.S. military and NATO and NORAD, all right? And these bombers from China, these H-6 Badger bombers, are actually nuclear capable, and these bombers actually were just fitted with new hypersonic missiles just this month. All right, it was just announced by China in the past few weeks that they are arming this H-6 bomber with Mach 6 missiles. All right, so China arms nuclear bomber with 930 mile range hypersonic weapon. Okay, so a Mach 6 missile is also potentially on board one of these aircrafts, and this is a nuclear capable bomber from China, and their nuclear program is very secretive and clandestine, and they don't really let anybody know exactly what weapons they have and what they're arming them with. So them making this announcement is big, and it's kind of a show that they want people to know this. All right, so it says the YJ-21 missile has a range of 930 miles and can reach a speed of Mach 6. Okay, so, and it was just equipped onto the H-6 bombers. All right, so, and this is the first time they've ever done this as well too. So this is big. And then weeks later, this was just announced in the past couple weeks by the Chinese government and the Chinese Air Force. Okay, and these hypersonic missiles have a range of 930 miles, so they would be well within the range of the United States or any potential targets being inside of this air defense ID zone outside of Alaska. All right, so things are definitely heating up. This is the first time that China has ever entered this zone, actually, with their aircraft, and it's also the first time they've ever done it with Russia too, because Russia has penetrated this zone many times. They do this on occasion, okay, to test the responses and see how fast we can get our aircraft out there. But this is the first time China has ever done it jointly, and the first time China has ever entered into this airspace. All right, so this is pretty big news, and this is not normal. This is a major escalation. All right, and it says after being detected, the bombers were intercepted by U.S. Air Force F-16s and F-35s from Joint Base Richardson, alongside CF-18s with the Canadian Air Force, who are also stationed at the same base under NORAD Air Defense Command. All right, so this is not normal. And think of all the things we've seen, these balloons, these, quote, Chinese balloons that we keep seeing too. NORAD scrambled fighter jets for one of these things just a few months ago. And there's been multiple ones over the past few months, and there's also a lot of them that they aren't talking about, and they're not identifying. If they're low threat level, they're just allowing it to happen. All right, there was also a Chinese rocket that fell out of orbit and actually burned up over LA a few months ago as well. I made a whole video on it, and people were seeing it in the skies of LA, and they were wondering what's going on, this fireball burning up above the skies. And this was from a rocket that just all of a sudden fell out of orbit over LA. So our airspace is not as tight as they are portraying it, as it should be. Okay, it should be the tightest airspace on the planet. But we are vulnerable right now, and other countries are testing us. They're testing us. They're seeing what we're going to do. And having Russia and China jointly doing this exercise and penetrating our airspace, seeing what happens, this is big. This is a major escalation. And we also have these aerial warning and control systems being deployed right now inside of Alaska as well, which will give them any advanced warning of any type of breach or any type of aircraft that are going to be entering this airspace again. They want to have preemptive warning and be on top of it. All right, so that's what's going on right now. Nuclear capable bombers. There's also, we have warnings coming out of the FBI. Okay, the head of the FBI was warning in congressional testimony that we could see increase attacks inside the US as well. Right? All these things are connected. The country's wide open. We're seeing these escalations for geopolitical conflicts. All right, World War III bubbling up. All these things are happening at the same time. It's not a coincidence. We could see something big happen before the end of the year. All right, think of all the crazy stuff that's already happened the past week or two. It's been wild. All right, history making week. All the stuff going on. Right, and it's been a lot to process. And we could see something even bigger, even more disruptive happen that could change everything, right? We already keep seeing things change, and we're getting really close, right? We were inches away from things drastically changing in our country overnight, right? But we're not out of it yet. We could see some other event pop up like this. This is the Black Swan season, the October surprise season, but it's going to be for months. It's going to be July surprise, August surprise, September surprise, and then October surprise. We're going to see a lot of stuff going on, right? So they're warning we might see attacks in the US too. That could really shake things up. That could disrupt 2024 as well, right? And we also have the NYPD. They are saying that they found a, quote, pipe bomb in a car. All right, that's what NYPD is warning of. They had bomb squad out here to disable this device, right? And this happened in Harlem. It says a chain of events began when a car rolled up to a Harlem station with 2 men inside, right? And the driver told officers that the passenger's cousin had hit him on the head with a machete, leaving him bloody and bruised. Right? So apparently there was a altercation going on that got police over here, and when they looked in the car, they found this explosive device in the car. All right, so we're not exactly sure what they were doing, these people were doing, but potentially this could have been something big. All right, this could have been a big event, some type of car explosion, something along those lines. This was in Harlem. Right, so that's also happening in NYPD right now. It's a live situation, and they are figuring out exactly what is going on, what's the motive here, why these people have these explosives, all these things going on. But our country is vulnerable right now. Everyone can feel it, guys. We're in a very vulnerable state. That's why all these crazy things keep happening, okay? And just so you guys know, it's 100% confirmed that Kamala will be the Democrat nominee. Okay, 100% confirmed. She already has all of the electoral votes for the Democrat National Convention, for the DNC. She already has all the electoral votes for it. They've already all voted for it. Okay, so anything you're hearing of, oh, they're going to switch it out, or like Obama's going to come in and change it or anything like that, none of that's true. And it's been like this for days. I saw this 2 or 3 days ago now, that Kamala has, it was like as soon as Biden announced that he's not going to run again, then a lot of the states put their support behind her right away, because he endorsed her almost right away, and she got a ton of the electoral votes. All right, so now she has all of them. She has enough for the nomination at the DNC. So that's over. It's shut. She's going to be the nominee for the Democrat side. Okay, and her vice president will be figured out. All right, they're talking about a couple governors. I think they said the governor of Pennsylvania or Ohio might be her VP choice. All right, but it's gonna be her, 100%. she already has the electoral votes and everything, right? So it's going to be Trump versus Kamala, and who knows what we're going to see before the end of the year. We could see more chaos, more turmoil, okay? We got extremely lucky. Even Trump, for his rallies now, he has now announced that, and this is at the recommendation of the Secret Service, law enforcement, that they will all be inside now. They will all be inside stadiums and things like that, where there's no open air, right? There's no open sky around. There's no unsecured places. It's all going to be inside, right? So that's one major announcement that things are already changing, okay? But even these stadiums are vulnerable. They can be targeted as well too. Allegedly, supposedly, there was a car that had explosives in it at the Trump rally. Okay, when Trump got hit in the ear, when he got shot, they found a car that had explosives in it. And apparently, allegedly, they found a controller too with a detonator. Okay? Crazy stuff. Now think of that in the context of a stadium. Okay, they could just roll up to the stadium parking lot, anything along those lines, and detonate some type of explosive, right? And then today we see a explosive device found in a car in New York City, right? That's part of the reason I wanted to bring this up, because all these things are related, right? There's a lot of activity going on inside of our country too. There's coup after coup going on, right? Attempt after attempt to disrupt what the people really want, right? To give us a fair shot. It's being disrupted. This is the one thing we have, is trying to vote for officials, and it's being disrupted at every, even the Democrat nominee, it's now Kamala. Nobody really chose her. Nobody voted for her. And that spot was not really chosen. It was just kind of selected. Okay, nobody voted for her to be the nominee. The electors did, right, in the states, but none of the people actually really voted for her. She was on the ticket with Biden, but I'm sure if people were given a bigger choice, right, she might not have been chosen, because she wasn't chosen beforehand. So we are in the time where anything can happen, right? Anything can happen right now. The stuff that's happened the past few weeks, history changing, okay? And we could see more of this before the end of the year, especially if things aren't going the way that the elite, and there are multiple different factions here fighting for power right now. Okay, multiple different factions that want this power, want the presidency right now. And there might be different factions causing more disruptions, right? We might see these plans implemented. We might see more cards played. We might see more Black Swan events. Does anyone even remember the CrowdStrike event? Okay? That was much bigger than they presented it to be. Very big, because CrowdStrike is directly connected and related to all this other stuff. All this stuff. Right? All the people you're seeing right now, they are all connected to CrowdStrike. Right? They have their tentacles into everything. And this was not a coincidence, right? This was one of their switches potentially being activated right now. What are the odds that this update causes this massive disruption? Right? They knew what was going to happen. And the timing of it is insane too. It was days after what happened to Trump, all the stuff. It's been a crazy week. Everyone just kind of forgot about that, right? But that was one of their kill switches being activated, right? Potentially. That's what we saw there. I think that was a very big deal that was swept under the rug, and we are still dealing with that. There are still people that, there's still hundreds of people, some airports, thousands of people. Like the Atlanta airport, I was seeing people trapped there. There were thousands of people still there, stuck in the airport, because Delta, all their stuff was still down. Delta's just having major delays, flight disruptions. Nobody can get home. People just been living in the airport past week, right? And I saw specifically Delta's been hit really bad. There were other airlines too. I think American Airlines was hit pretty bad too. But people are saying Delta was the worst hit. And there were lines of just hundreds of people trying to wait in line all day to get up to the counter to figure their situation out and to rebook their flight and to get on a new flight and to figure out where they need to go. And a lot of times you don't even get there. The counter closes and you have to wait too long. You got to go to the bathroom, you got to get some food, whatever happens, and you don't even get up there. So people are just stuck there for days trying to figure this out, right? Because there's thousands of people that just need to be processed and have their situation dealt with individually now, right? So that's still going on. That's still a live situation, this CrowdStrike situation, and I think that was a big deal that has kind of been swept under the rug, all right? And we could see something similar to that. I think that was one of their major switches that was activated, and I think we could see something even bigger soon. All right, so thank you guys. Please hit it up for me down there to help get these warnings out so people know what's going on. All right, nuclear capable bombers are testing us right now. China and Russia teaming up for the first time ever, entering the Alaska ID zone. All right, very big news. Lots of stuff going on. The U.S. military is on high alert. Cyber attacks, resignations, assassinations. This is the time. There's so much going on. It's hard to process it, guys, but we're seeing black swan after black swan right now. And any normal, if this stuff was happening 10 years ago, 20 years ago, any one of these events would be national news for months and months. And now it's every couple of days something major happening, and we need to be ready. All right, we're in the quickening phase where things are just changing and happening so quickly that it almost becomes overwhelming, and a lot of people just check out. Right, they check out because it's too much to process. Okay, and I get like that too. Right, the past few days of, so I haven't posted in a few days because I've just been sitting back and processing exactly what's going on. I wanted to be sure. There's a lot of rumors going around, all the stuff going around. I didn't want to run with anything that I couldn't verify, right? And I wasn't sure it was 100% true because there's so much going on. It's hard to sift through exactly what's really happening and what's not. Like, we were getting reports that Biden was super sick and all these things, which potentially he is, right? He's seen Parkinson's doctors, all these things are happening, right? Potentially he is, but we were getting reports that it was dire situations, things like this, and I really didn't want to report on any of this without it being verified. We didn't see him for like a whole week after this resignation, pretty much. So there's a lot of stuff going on. It's easy to check out. It's easy to get overwhelmed, but don't let it overwhelm you. That's part of the strategy here, is just to, they're just throwing everything. Everything's being thrown at the wall right now. And someone's hoping something sticks. Right? Most things have not been sticking. Somehow, everything has not really been working. But something might stick, all right? They're throwing everything at the wall right now. So make sure you guys are just getting prepared. Make sure you have your tanks filled. Make sure you have your prepper pantry filled. I hope you guys have big blessings for your life, your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.